Hello YouTube, this is Truth Seeker here with your eyes on the truth and everything that comes with it. Alrighty, let's get right down to the ball. The first thing I want to talk about today is the border crisis and where I think everything is going. It's all going to lead up to the Second American Revolution. It has already started. It's starting with the Minutemen recruitment. That's how it's actually going to go down because the Mexican military is complaining that there are people who are actually enforcing the rules down there on the border. Which, by the way, the only people being racist down there are the illegal immigrants who are calling everybody all kinds of deplorable names that I will not be saying unless it actually is called for it. And even then, if you're just a stereotype, you're just a stereotypical asshole that I think needs to be drug out into the street and shot, but that's my opinion. Um, anyway, it's going to start down there. That's where everything is looking like it's going because, you know what? If we as Americans went to Canada to try to cross the border illegally, we'd be shot on sight. If we tried to cross the Mexican border illegally, we'd be shot on sight or thrown in jail. Anybody smell a giant double standard? I know I do. If this immigration issue keeps up, even though they're not immigrating here, they're not doing it the legal way, they're doing it the illegal way, this is what I think is going to happen. And this is fact. This is actually documented by not just the White House, but the United Nations and all these other groups. And what I think is going to happen is total collapse of the American economy because all they're doing is just exporting their gangbangers into our territory, which we have enough issues with dealing with our own gangbangers. Last thing we need to deal with is the La Raja, the MS-16 groups. That's the last thing we need as a country. I mean, they're here already. Those are our own groups. The last thing we need are extremist Mexicanized versions. And I could be talking about many other things. Like, I love watching baseball and sports like that. I love doing all that normal stuff, but yet we have to have these topics. What do I think should happen? I think Obama should be impeached. For one reason. We have never had a more racist president than we have had in any form of history. Not even when slavery and all that stuff was going on did we ever hear any president use any slave labor terms or words or anything like that. That's never happened in this country's history. And those of you who aren't brainwashed zombies, and who, if you recall correctly, during that era, a whole lot of people did everything they could to end slavery. White people from the north fought the rich white people from the south. Basically, it was poor versus rich. It wasn't about race, it was about class. Here's the secret to Detroit, why the people there are so united. It's not about race, it's about class. It's rich or poor. If you're poor, you go to jail for everything. And it don't matter that you're black and it don't matter that you're white. Because if you want to really look at the crime statistics, look at the FBI crime statistics by race. White people are in jail now more for anything. And, you know what? Quite frankly, it's disgusting. It is disgusting to sit there, and I don't care who you are. If you commit a crime, if you commit a real crime, then yeah, you should go to jail for it because you got caught committing a real crime and you should pay. You know? There's some people who are better off dead in this society, but that's my opinion also. Go into that one another time, but that's what I think is happening, and I think people in this country are slowly starting to realize that it's just not happening soon enough. because we have a president here who's not standing up for Americans, period. We have a president here who's standing up for people who don't even want to be here. They're being forced into this country by drug cartels and the Mexican military. I'm calling for mass protests on the border with Mexico to get this idiotic, retarded president to enforce the real immigration laws that we have already, where all they have to do is go through a process, learn things about the United States of America, and then actually be put to work. Why should they be given the welfare that in this country, which welfare is meant for the truly handicapped, like myself, I'm truly handicapped, I have issues, let's just put it like that, to sit there and say, okay, you can get it because you're Mexican and you need the support and all this other stuff. And you know what? That's just wrong. I don't care what group you're affiliated with. If you're going to sit there and give somebody one thing to make their lives easier over another one, that's discrimination. Hello, what the hell? Why the hell should a illegal immigrant, regardless if they're Mexican, Ecuadorian, wherever, Japanese, I don't give a shit. You could be a white illegal immigrant who came over here from Europe looking looking for the time of their life, because they could basically be a god in this country if you don't have a citizenship. That's another thing I want to talk about too. You know, the right to citizenship is a great process to go through. Everyone in this country is an immigrant. Every one of us. There was a time and a place in the United States where nobody existed. Nobody even knew this country was even a country. This continent was even here. Nobody knew. The only people who could have possibly known about it were the Romans with the Tuscan artifacts. Those are the only group of people here who could have possibly have known about that. And for all we know, a lot of the stuff that we have in this country possibly came from the Roman Empire, because they had that kind of reach at that time. But, well, that's what I think of the border crisis, and, quite frankly, Obama needs to be impeached. He has to go. Joe Biden has to go. Every one of them in Washington. If you're not there for our best interest, you have to go. I know it's really bold to sit there and say that it's going to cause the Second American Revolution, but if this keeps up and people start recruiting down there, that's exactly what's going to happen. I mean, shit, we already have Border Patrol agents that are on the border. You want to really end this crisis? Turn the border into a demilitarized zone. Do like what you did in North Korea. Why is it that the North Korean peninsula is more protected from illegal immigration than our own country, which we are spending billions and billions and maybe even trillions of dollars pouring into that one little region of Earth with a crackpot nation who uses Tinker toys and airsoft guns? I mean, come on, man. That's a fucking joke. Every one of those bastards, including Obama, needs to be gone. Simple as that. By the way, I am not a Democrat and I am not a Republican. I am a registered independent. I will tell it like I see it. So that's it for this particular segment on The Truth Seeker. I will see you later. Peace.